COARAZE is a small medieval mountain village in the south of France. It is located at an altitude of 650 meters above sea level. COARAZE is one of the most ancient and beautiful villages in this region. It seems to be almost cut off from the rest of the world. The mountains hide it from the bustling life of the French Riviera. This place has been inhabited for many centuries. Ligurians, Celts, Romans replaced each other, leaving traces of their culture on this blessed land. During the Middle Ages, the village belonged to influential feudal lords. In the middle of the 18th century, it was a part of Spain, and 100 years later, it became part of France. There are a lot of similar villages in the south of France, but no matter what anyone says, they are all different, is unique, beautiful, and interesting in their own way. I visited COARAZE on the eve of Halloween. The village was decorated in accordance with the traditions that harmoniously fit the occasion. The village is mainly built out of pink sandstone, which has become lighter over time and gives a feeling of a sunny day even in cloudy weather. It is incredible that many buildings have survived to this day without any significant changes. Old houses carefully keep the secrets of their inhabitants. Narrow cobble streets, arches, passages fascinate and turn on the imagination. The sundials is one of the main attractions of the village. In 1960, the mayor invited famous artists to decorate COARAZE. The first to respond to the proposal was a famous Joan Cocteau. Later, 8 sundials were installed in COARAZE. The Church of Saint John the Baptist, located in a small cozy square, it was built in the 14th century, renovated several times, and during the Counter-Reformation, the stucco in the Italian Baroque style appeared in it. The main decoration of the church is the colorful design of the altar. Every village, mountain, hill, all of them are connected in these places with the magic of legends, and 'COARAZE is not an exception. The name of the village translates as a cut tail. According to one of the local legends, the tail of the devil himself was cut off here after luring him into a trap. Due to its location and the large number of sunny days in the year, the village received an official name, the Village of the Sun, Village du Soleil. Some call it the Walter Rock, Rocca Sparviera. That was the name of the castle, and now the ruins, standing on top of a mountain ridge. The Chapel of Our Lady Piety, or the Seven Sorrows, was built in the second half of the 18th century on the site of an older chapel. It bears the name of the Blue Chapel after decorating its walls with blue monochrome frescoes painted in 1962 by the artist Fidelio Ponce de Leon. They depict expressive scenes from the life of Christ. Immersed in the atmosphere of a medieval village, I was inspired to climb up to the demolished castle, which I had heard about. It is located at an altitude of more than 1,000 meters above sea level, a 2-hour walk from the village. Old-timers claim that there you can meet a ghost. This place has survived earthquakes, wars, plague, famine, the most brutal crimes, and some say it was cursed by Queen Joanna. She was accused of participating in the murder of her first husband, Andrei of Hungary, followed by his family seeking revenge. The queen fled with her 2 children and took refuge in Rocca Sparviera's castle. The place was chosen ideally, as it is hidden from view, located on a steep slope and has a very narrow path leading up to its gate. On Christmas Eve, Queen Joanna went down to the village church for the midnight festive mass, leaving her children with their nanny. As she walked, she thought the crows circling above her were crying, "The queen is going to mass, and when she returns, the table will already be served." Medieval chronicles, legends, and tales are not mirrors with humanity. They always have a lot of vicious details, and their descriptions, depending on the source, they vary. Therefore, I will omit the details of the horrific sight that met the queen when she returned from the mass, and simply say that her children were brutally murdered. Mad with grief and rage, Queen Joanna decided to flee to Naples and ordered the castle to be burned. On the way, She turned to Rocca-Sparviera and said the curse. Bloody cursed cliff, there will come a day when neither rooster nor hen will crow on your ruins. Either the curse came true, or the castle happened to go through common events for those times and places, but it was subjected to several strong earthquakes, and by 18th century it was completely abandoned by people. Civilizations disappear, empires fall, bodies turn to ashes, but life goes on, no matter what. The mighty river of being never stops. Even in terrible moments that shake all of humanity, it smoothly continues its movement. Death will never stop life. In the evening of the same day, I wandered in another town among dressed-up people and watched a fascinating masquerade party. In France, Samhain, or Halloween in the American way, is a good tradition, despite the fact that in the 9th century, Pope George IV moved the celebration of All Saints' Day to the same date. French love holidays. In my opinion, they are not particularly interested in the origin of any celebration. Only the atmosphere of happiness, fun and joy matters. This evening they laugh at what is usually the subject of nightmares: spiders, ghosts, vampires. According to a legend, on the night of November the 1st, the border between the worlds of the living and the dead disappear. The souls of the dead that did not have time to realize their cherished desires during their lifetime descend to earth. Spirits and ghosts accompany them to the world of the living. Perhaps this is also happening in order to remind us that death is a continuation, not the end. You can be a Christian who condemns pagan holidays, or a staunch atheist who does not believe in otherworldly forces. Our faith, or its complete absence, cannot be a reason to refuse joy and fun, even for one evening. We cannot control all the processes taking place in our life, and death is beyond our control. But we can choose our attitude to life, our reactions to events, and what we fill it with. As Marina Tsvetaeva once wisely remarked, in dialogue with life, it is not the question that is important, but our answer.